Hi, my name is Lisa Ann Robinson. I am the blogger behind Contented by Lisa Camille, which is a diary. It's my diary about my unconventional life as a free spirit that's totally guided by the principles of faith and freedom. That blog is a resource for women who want to be encouraged to make decisions that might be deemed unconventional. You know, I encourage women to be guided by their intuition, by their relationship with Jesus, to develop that, and to be free in every possible way. So one of the ways that I have unplugged from the norm is that I have taken sex off the table. I don't have sex anymore. My goodness, I'm celibate. And I have been celibate now for a year. When I first made a decision last October 2016, I did not think that I would last a year, but here I am. It's now it's now almost November 2017. And I wanted to share something that's happened recently. You know, in the year that I have been celibate, my dating life has been very quiet. You know, before I made the decision to be celibate, you know, I was on dating apps. I was dating a lot, specifically that year prior to making that decision. I had a lot of action. I had at one point, I think I was dating 3 guys at the same time. I had a few one-night stands and a few casual encounters, and my dating life was very active. But I also experienced a lot of heartbreak in that year as well. You know, there are 2 guys in particular that I liked a lot, and I slept with them, and they didn't feel the same way about me, and they chose to communicate that by just kind of disappearing off the face of the planet, as guys tend to do. So I made a decision to be celibate and focus on my relationship with Jesus, with God, with myself, you know, and that year has totally transformed who I am. I'm so much more happier, confident, grounded, clear. Oh my goodness, I am so clear on who I am and what works for me now. I'm so much more confident than I was before, than I was a year ago. I'm so glad that I made a decision. But in the process, in this year, my dating life got very, very quiet. Like, I hadn't gone on a date. Like, I'd met a few guys that I kind of liked, and I told them I was celibate, and some stayed around longer than others, but I never went on a date. I never dated. So when it came towards the end of my year, I was really hungry to go on a date. I just wanted to go on a date. I wanted a man to pick me up and take me out to dinner, and I wanted to talk about, just wanted this exploration of our mutual interests and what we agreed on and what we disagreed on, and I just wanted to experience the novelty of all that uncertainty and to see if there was chemistry. You know, when you don't do something for a long time, it can seem very romantic. So yeah, I hadn't actually been on a date in a year, so I really wanted one. And it's what happened in the next few weeks really demonstrated to me that if you want something, the universe has a way of just bringing it to you. And it can happen so easily. You express a desire and the universe just goes, ah, yes, why not? Let's do that. So I put into action my desire. I put action around the desire to go on a date by getting on one of the dating apps. I used Bumble at the time and created an account, and I, you know, was actively swiping every day and had a number of very uninteresting conversations. So it was very disappointing. And I've probably been on there now for like maybe 3 weeks, a month now. I still haven't had a date from Bumble, but very interestingly enough, I met men organically and had a date, and had dates, plural. I wanted to have one date, and I ended up having like, well, it ended up being about maybe 3 dates. But I suddenly have had a lot of interest from men just organically in my life, just popping up, which has been very, very interesting, just from a spiritual point of view of putting out a desire and just watching it manifest. Because I think if you express a desire with that sense of kind of lightness or just genuineness, is genuineness a word? I don't know. If you express a desire, I think that the universe does want to give it to you. So it ended up coming to me very naturally. I was out at a bar one night, and a guy was interested in me, and ended up spending the evening with him, and it was lovely. And then another time I was at a cafe in just a local cafe in a suburb close to where I live, and a beautiful man came up and approached me and asked for my details. And he did end up inviting me on a date, and we had a couple of dates, and I'm going, oh my god, wow. So I asked for something and I got it. Wow. It was just so simple and so beautiful. And one of the things that I liked about that whole process was that it was easy, you know. And also I actioned it on my own, but I didn't really have to force it. And I noticed how different I was on the date. I found that compared to a year ago when I had made a decision to be celibate, I found that I carried myself in the dating process much differently. I was a lot more clear about what worked for me and what didn't work for me. I think a year before, if certain things had happened, I would have, you know, when the guys do things and you kind of gloss over it, even though it doesn't really feel good, it doesn't really work for you, but you're kind of like, oh, okay, well, I'll just let it slide. I was letting a lot of things slide last year, but this year, because of this path that I've been on, and I'm so much clearer in who I am and so much more confident. I'm much more assertive. So if something doesn't work for me, I say that right away. You know, it does take courage, but I still get up the courage to say, you know what, this is what you did, and yeah, that's not cool with me, and that's not going to work. So that was really, really great. It was really great to observe that change in myself. And I enjoyed seeing that fruit of the work that I put into myself in this past year. So it turned out that those dates haven't actually manifested into a relationship. But you know what? I'm still super happy because I wanted a date and I got like more than one. So I'm really excited about where that's going to go. Maybe the clarity in just my spiritual aptitude and who I am as a person has made it so that it's easier for me to manifest the things that I want. So I'm really, really excited about what's going to happen next. So keep updated on my blog. You can subscribe. Go to www.contentedbyalisacamille.com, be a subscriber, and don't miss out on more of my little adventures.